All right, guys, it's 10:33. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm sure some more realtors will pull their realtor time and funnel in here. I want to introduce you guys. Good morning, first of all, to everybody. Good morning, Joanne, and always chatting. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So we have with us today. You guys will remember, if you look on the screen that's got Andy and Insua's name on it, you'll see Jason Pugh on the left, the screen with three people. Jason's the loan officer. Jason and his lovely wife were on our call about a month ago, and we appreciate that. And Andy mentioned in that call, they mentioned that AmeriFirst Home Mortgage, who he's with, has a branch called AmeriUno that reaches out to the Hispanic community. Well, today we're hearing from all the great people at AmeriUno. We have Melissa Correa. Melissa, if you'll give us a wave, she's Business Development Manager. We have Michelle Renner, Business Development Manager. You give us a wave, there you go. And we have Andy Insua. Andy is the Managing Director of AmeriUno. So I'm going to turn it over to them now and let them tell you all about this great company and what they can do to help your business.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and thanks, Ryan, for having us. We really appreciate it. And Ryan was kind enough to spend a few minutes with us prior to the call, let us know all these rock stars that we're going to have on the call. So what we're going to talk about today is a pretty cool concept. And you probably heard Ryan say a bunch of times, you know, what are the ways that you can help grow your business? Well, this is a way that you can help grow your business. So we are an all end-to-end Hispanic mortgage company. And I know if I can see from some of the names, we have some Hispanic realtors on here, but just to give you some quick data, NAREP, which you guys are all familiar with, which is the Hispanic realtor group, they did a survey on 2019, 2020 HMDA data, which is all the mortgage data collected. And they found that Hispanic borrowers are turned down 40% more often than non-Hispanic whites. And we thought, all right, there's an opportunity here. We've got a Hispanic group, a Hispanic mortgage company. How do we address that problem and that issue? And so what we found is that the reason for the higher percentage of turn down is a lot of them don't understand the mortgage products that are available. There's a language issue. Sometimes it's hard for them to document income because of the way they have their jobs. There's low credit scores, a handful of other reasons. But the real cause of the reason why Hispanics are turned down higher than non-Hispanics is a lack of education. And so we've really built an end-to-end Hispanic mortgage company around how do we educate the Hispanic community? How do we get involved deep in the community with them? What are the ways that we can build trust? And then we're going to do a lot of marketing around all these concepts. So we've got spots scheduled that are going to begin late June on Roomba. You guys are all familiar with Roomba. We've also got spots on Univision and Telemundo. And so we really want to reach out to the Hispanic community, get involved, educate them, and be really a one-stop shop to help these customers realize the dream of home ownership. Everybody in our organization is bilingual. So my parents are from Cuba. My first language was Spanish. So I'm bilingual. We've got people from Colombia, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, you name it in Latin America. We're like the international nation here at AmeriUno. And so when customers call our 800 number, or when they're dealing with our business development managers or anybody within AmeriUno, we speak to them in their language. We understand them. It's all Spanish. We also speak English if they want to speak English, but primarily it's end-to-end Spanish. So how does this help a realtor group or builders that we work with, right? You're thinking, all right, that's cool, but how does that help me grow my business? Well, what we found, we've been doing this for about a year now, is that the clients that are Hispanic borrowers, they really like to communicate in Spanish. And as soon as you can communicate with them in their language, there's an added level of trust that it's almost like street cred that you get right away. So I'll give you an example. When I was thinking about coming to AmeriUno to be the managing director, I was having lunch with my wife, and we had a Hispanic waitress. And she came to me and she spoke English, kind of an accent, but she was talking to us in English. But I realized right away that she was Hispanic. So I said to her, "Usted habla español?" So she says, "Oh, sí," right? And her whole body language, her whole attitude, everything changed. She was almost like a sense of relief, like, "Wow, you speak Spanish. That's so cool. Let's communicate," right? And that's what we're seeing with our borrowers as well, is as soon as we engage with them with either Hispanic materials that they can read or Hispanic business development managers they can speak to, you immediately build an added level of trust. And an added level of trust means that for you, you're going to convert a lot more of those borrowers to sales than you would if they went to Wells Fargo and pressed 2 for Spanish, because they're going to feel like they've got a family around them. Between you and us, they've got a team that really understands them, that wants to get them to the finish line. So that's the way that we can work together. The other thing is we've got a home opportunity center that we're going to be building in Kissimmee, and we're going to be building those in multiple markets. Kissimmee is actually our first one. And this home opportunity center is going to be a place for clients to come in and really get educated around mortgage. And so, if you think about, okay, you're opening a center, is that a mortgage branch? It's really not. It's more of a community center than a mortgage branch. And there's going to be stuff around education, how to buy. We're going to have also realtor partners there with listings that customers can look at. So that's another way that you can kind of participate and expand your reach, is to be visible in our home opportunity center. And so Melissa, who's on the phone or on the call here, she's going to be actually running our home opportunity center in Kissimmee. So I would like to maybe have Melissa pop on and introduce herself, maybe tell you a little bit about what the center is going to be like. And she's already working with a lot of realtors and builders, and she can give you some insight on what that relationship looks like. So Melissa, can you pop on real quick?
Yes. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? It's a pleasure to meet you guys all. It's nice seeing a lot of new faces. So pretty much the center is going to be the opportunity for clients to go in there and learn financial situations. A lot of the buyers that we work with don't understand why the money needs to be in the bank account, or why we are required to show proof of funds when a lot of our clients especially have a lot of money in the mattress or at home. They claim to save money, and that's the way that they do it. So we're going to be there. The way that I work with my partnerships is that it's going to be a nice, beautiful floor plan. I'm very excited about it, guys. So bear with me. It's going to be a nice floor plan. You're going to see we're going to have the virtual walkthrough that they're going to be able to put the goggles on and do like a stand walkthrough of the houses that we have there listed with our partners. And we're going to have the coffee. We're also going to have like a little kids area just in case if they do bring their kids. We're going to be able to do closings there. It's just a welcoming office that we're going to be able to, if you have any questions, any concerns, if this is what you're looking to do in the future, you want to prepare yourself, we want to be that person that you come and talk to. So even with realtors, home education, you guys want to get a little bit more about how to, the different loans, and you want to be able to talk to the clients and know a little bit more of that side, you can also come into the office and get that situated as well. So I'm very excited. That's normally what we do with our partners, especially with mine. I go and do coaching and teaching on different loan products, different ways that we can actually get loans done and take care of them. So we can do it on both languages.
That's awesome. And one of the things too that'll help you, and it'll actually be found business. It may get you 1, 2, in some cases we've seen 4 or 5 extra closings a year. Is one of the things we specialize in is we don't say no, we say not yet.
Correct.
And we have a nurture program. So we may get a client that you guys send in for a pre-qual, and it may be just below the credit score. There may be just a few more months on job to make sure they're qualified. We'll put them in our nurture program. We'll tell them exactly what they've got to do to correct the credit issues or the job or whatever. And then once they're buyer ready, we will bring them back to you and let you know, hey, they're now pre-qualified, they're ready to roll. let's get them a house. And, you know, it's not a ton of business, but, you know, 2 or 3 more sales a year for you could be significant. And for you, Ryan, as a group, it could be very significant. But we've got a process to make sure we track that. So that's another area that could be some added value for you. The other person we've got here in the room is Michelle. Michelle's another business development manager, and she works with Jason very closely and Ryan. So I just wanted to introduce her real quick. So
yes, so happy to meet all of you guys. Excited to meet. I know you have a big group, so it's great. But like she was saying, Melissa, we're here to help you. Whatever questions you have, contact us. You know, it is appealing differently to the Spanish community because they want more of the full family mannerisms and, you know, just connecting on that level instead of just being very business-like or whatever. So I think it's good for us to have that ability to do that with the HOC. So anything you guys need from us, call us, email us, whatever questions you have, we'll send it over to you. If you need extra information to send to your clients and your agents, we will be happy to do so.
awesome.
Put some questions in there.
Yeah, let me add one more thing before we'll take questions. Is we were talking to Ryan about this earlier. There's been many surveys that have been done about the Hispanic community and the level of growth. You guys have probably seen some of those. But the kind of consensus is that between 2020 and 2040, 70% of the new household growth in the United States is going to come from the Hispanic community. So think about that in terms of opportunity, and then think about yourselves. You're in Florida. You're kind of in the mecca of this growth, right? We've got Hispanic folks coming in from other countries. We've got them coming in from New York and California. It's a huge opportunity for us to kind of skate to where the puck is going. So if you get involved and you bolt on something like this to your business to add some value, you can start riding that wave as these new households grow.
Right.
So Ryan, that's kind of our story. Happy to answer any questions or whatever, wherever you'd like to take it from here.
Okay, you got some questions in chat that we'll get to in a minute, but I wanted to address something that you said there. And I really love this whole, that you guys are building the pipeline for the future. And we talked a little bit about that before, but guys, they're building a pipeline to attempt to dominate the Spanish mortgage, the whole Spanish mortgage market. So I think that's really cool. And that's a way for you guys, like he was just saying, but we always talk about this. This isn't the age of just join the Chamber of Commerce and sponsor a Little League team and you'll be fine. You've got to take bits and pieces of everything to put a business together. And, you know, snagging these extra 2, 3, 4 deals a year, maybe it's 6 deals a year, maybe it's 10 deals a year, maybe it's 1, but, you know, an extra $8,000 or $58,000 a year probably would help a lot of you guys. So you've got to piecemeal your business together, unless you're making so much money that you don't have time for it. But this would be something that you definitely should be investing your time in. So I just love that. I love what you guys are doing, and this community center just seems like a home run. We've got some questions about the best phone number for your mortgage. What's the best phone number of your mortgage company? Maybe they could, I don't know if there's one for AmeriUno or if they should call Jason, what they should do.
We've got an 800 number for clients, but the best thing to do right now is for you to call Melissa or Michelle directly, because they're kind of the quarterbacks for us in terms of loans that go into process, questions. So Michelle, can you share your number?
Absolutely,
and then Melissa
yeah.
share yours?
Mm-hmm. Melissa, you can go first.
And by the way, if you want to do some research on the company itself, you go to AmeriUno.com. AmeriUno.com. The entire website is all Spanish. There's an apply button on there where they can apply. There's also an 866 number where they can call toll free and speak to any of our associates in Spanish.
And Ryan, I'll send you all this information as well after, so you can pass it along to everybody. But for my personal number, it's 407-743-1697. And then Melissa has hers.
Okay. Look at that in the chat. All right.
Did you? Nice.
Wow.
I don't have the computer with me right now. So.
Technology.
Could you give me that phone number one more time, Michelle? I'm sorry.
Yep. It is 407-743-1697. And we're gonna have a big grand opening and everything, so we'll give you guys all the information, so you can have your agents there, clients, whatever you need, and yeah, we'll celebrate together this whole big, I mean, we're the first doing this, so it'll be big.
Mhm.
So guys, this is great for you guys, even if you're not a Spanish speaking agent, to make your Spanish speaking clients feel more comfortable, to take them through.
Right,
the process.
correct.
We'll definitely help you close it for a fact. Even if we have to be your personal translator, we got it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you guys, tell me a little bit, well, first let's answer Jika's question, then I have a question. What's the lowest credit score you guys can approve the buyers at?
We go down to 580.
Okay. All right, and you have a program obviously to help people that are lower than that.
Yeah, what we usually do is those folks will put into the nurture program. We have a program called a credit rescore. And what we'll do is we will look into that program. Let's say that they've got a 500 or a 520. Our credit program will tell us exactly what moves they need to make with respect to their credit and debt in order to get that score up. So typically, sometimes we get them up within 30 days above the minimum 580. Sometimes it may take a little longer, but we got a very clear visibility. We put them in our nurture program and we follow up with them to make sure we get them buyer ready if it's for credit.
Okay, tell us about your foreign national program.
Right now, we don't do foreign national. We are working with a couple of different options where we're looking to get that, but we don't currently have a program for foreign nationals right now.
Okay. All right. How do I reach you? Any other questions? Do you guys finance new homes that will need to be constructed?
Oh yeah, we finance new homes. We also, with respect to the foreign national question, let me just, Melissa, can you talk them through the immigration? There's a lot of questions sometimes about immigration status. That might be helpful for the group. Can you give them a quick capsule on that? What's required?
Yes. So we right now, HUD is getting into the programs of actually doing even DACA programs. So the people that are in the DACA, like even if they don't have papers or, social securities and they're in the DACA program, we're actually doing those loans as well. We have a lot of work permits that we also do. We pretty much do almost all categories. And we are definitely working with the foreign nationals. We actually have 2 third parties that we're actually connecting with right now. So we're not gonna let you lose the client because we don't have the program. We'll definitely connect you to the right person. And even if we have to be the middle people to make sure that that deal closes, we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
There's usually there's a lot of questions around immigration. So I would encourage you, if you've got a client that's been here a certain amount of time, they're unsure if they could buy, just quick phone call to Melissa would probably be, you could solve that very quickly.
And I see that there's also another question. Do you guys finance new homes that needs to be built? Are we talking about a build to perm construction loan? Or are we talking about, hey, this person has a builder to finance that one? It's probably what my question would be.
Builder. He's asking about a typical builder developer, not a construction firm.
Okay. Then yes, we do that.
Okay. How is
There was
your
a question about underwriting too. I think it was from Stella.
Yep.
The underwriting, can you look it up, Melissa?
There's no self-employed borrowers, I believe.
We do that. We do self-employed clients.
So typically on the self-employed side, we have to get IRS tax transcripts. So obviously with the IRS, that's a time-consuming process at times to get that back, especially during tax season. So what we try to do on the front end is get that 4506 form signed by the borrowers, get it processed. So by the time we get to closing, we've got those tax transcripts and everything ready to go. The other things you'll need as a self-employed borrower is you need 3 months bank statements, business bank statements. And then we also need a P&L current year to date. If they haven't done their 2020 taxes, then we would need a P&L from 2020 as well.
So I have a concern, I guess, with that. I know lenders do self-employed and a small business, but I had experience that they don't really, sometimes they have to fix things in their accounting or their income. Sometimes they write up too much, so they save in taxes, but then their income is still low. Would you work with those people to get them to a place where they can structure the business better to get them ready to buy maybe in 6 months or in a year once they do their new taxes and stuff?
Yeah, so, the trick with that, I just had a self-employed borrower of that scenario where, she made 220,000 and her deductions were 217,000. So you're essentially using $3,000 of income. So we came up with a strategy for her 2020 returns that she was going to be filing coming up of what exactly, when she ran it through the Schedule C, what it needed to show to be eligible to get to qualify for a mortgage. So that's definitely something that we look at with the structuring of the taxes and try to make sure that, hey, if we run it through desktop underwriter for Fannie Mae on a conventional loan, or if we run it through, Freddie Mac for a conventional loan, if the underwriting findings say we only need 1 year of tax returns, then making sure that we can structure it the right way versus 2 years and trying to make the deal work.
And for people that are moving and maybe they don't have the job history, I guess what would you recommend for people that are just moving to the US that they know they want to buy a home as soon as possible? So I guess the fastest way will be to get employed on a W-2 compared to being self-employed. What are the requirements for their job and their income, like knowing that they just moved to the country and maybe their history is not that long?
Yeah, for the self-employed, you're going to need a full calendar year of self-employment for us to even be able to use it. So it needs to be January to December so we can show the full tax returns to qualify it off 1 year. And then you've got to hope that when you run it through the automated underwriting system that they'll allow you to do one year of tax returns versus 2. And depending on the loan program in terms of being a W-2, salaried employees are a lot easier to qualify because you've got a guaranteed salary versus hourly. It's variable income. Anytime you deal with variable income, you have to average and things like that. So, obviously if they don't have the choice and they have to go hourly, depending on the loan program is depending on what they want to see. So, conventional might want to see a 1 year, VA might want to see 1 year, whereas FHA in some circumstances, maybe 6 months, but then you need to kind of look at the job history of the country that they're coming from. Take that into consideration. Schooling can be taken into consideration to where if they were in school and received their diploma, and then now this is their first job from using that diploma. So there are a variety of ways to make it work, but different loan programs have different set criteria.
If they're in a W-2, how many months is still a year of work history, or?
It really depends on the loan program and the credit score. So your credit score is really going to determine what program you're in. So, 620 and above, you can go conventional, 580 and above, you can go FHA. Conventional typically wants to see you in that same job for 1 year so they can use that income. But like I said, there's other compensating factors with, if they're coming over from another country in a line of work, if they're in school. So it kind of depends on the situation. FHA is a little more lenient if there's no gaps in the employment history and things like that.
All right.
We're trying to close loans, Stella. We want to find a way.
Yeah, like he said, we're not saying maybe not right now, but we're gonna nurture it and get it done for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and definitely all for looking at it and trying to make it work. So
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Eric wants to know, can you bring in non-Hispanic? And of course, there's a whole AmeriFirst for that.
Hey, one-stop shop, right?
We're actually going to have a sign on our home ownership center that says, "We speak English," just in case.
Very nice.
I also put Jason's information in there for you guys too. You guys can also call him for the non-Hispanic people as well. I put his cell phone number. I hope I have that right, Jason. I got it from the email, and his email address as well.
Okay. Mel, this wants to know
I'll send Brian, I'll send you a whole list of things, so.
Okay. What down payment would you require for a person purchasing a second home as an investment to rent out?
I mean, if they're purchasing as a second home as an investment, so it's an investment property, you're gonna have to have a minimum of 15% down for investment. If it's a second home that you're using as a second home, then that is 10% down. And then you need to look at the criteria for second home to where you're basically have to live in it a certain amount of time. So if you're renting it out for 300 days, you have to live in it for 30 days. I think it's a 10% ratio of renting out versus what you actually live in for it to be considered a second home.
Okay. So she says just as investment, so that's 15%.
Right, minimum would be invested. Now, let me say this though. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the conventional, basically conventional loans, who you would do these through. So recently they decided that they're not, I guess there's too much risk in their pools right now of what they're buying for investment in second home properties. So they are not buying as much as those as investors from lenders. And because of that, have priced them accordingly, so they're not as profitable for lenders to sell those loans off to. So naturally, that trickles down to the borrower to where rates are a lot higher now. So you really, for it to be worthwhile as an investor, you're going to want to probably put 25% down to really have a rate where you're not having to pay points to get it.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
Ryan, you want to see a mock-up of our Kissimmee site real quick?
Love to. Love to.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Hang on one sec. Host? Oh, you got to enable me. I think I'm blocked out.
I'll make you the host, but don't forget to do it. I did this last week with the attorney, and when he checked out, he killed the whole meeting. So it just went dark.
All right, just remind me, because I'm not sure how to de-host myself. You have to walk me through it.
The de-host. All right.
De-hosting. All right. Let me know.
Well, now I got to figure out how to. Here we go. Enable host. All right. Make host. Yeah, don't forget, please.
Okay, I won't, for sure. All right, I'm the host. Okay, I have the con.
You have the con.
I have the con. All right. So let's see.
You know, these young people don't get that at all, right?
Yeah. All right, see it there?
Yes, very nice.
Yeah, so you can see it's not really a mortgage branch concept. So, we're going to have areas where they can go on. So let's say that you guys are one of our partners. We can have these loaded with your website and your listings on here. So if they want to search for homes while they're in our spot, they can look through there. We're also going to have big screens like this in the other area here that are going to flash listings and builder stuff like that. We've got an area to do home buyer seminars. So if you guys want to come and be part of home buyer seminars and meet some prospective customers, you can come. There's an area for kids to play, all that good stuff. And then it's not here now, but back in the back here, we have a set of VR glasses. So we're going to be able to load in virtual tours for any properties that we want to display on those VR glasses so they can walk in and do that. So for everybody on this call, you guys are welcome to come here. It's going to be in the Loop in Kissimmee, right next to the Regal Cinema. So mi casa, su casa. You guys come down. If you want to meet there, there's a conference room. If you want to meet clients, or if you just want to hang out and drink some cafecito or whatever, more than welcome to come by.
Fantastic.
All right, let me see.
Guys, while you got that up there, Andy, Guys, look at this, and Andy's talking about having those monitors there, the computer, so people can search for houses and have you or on your website and have you as a partner there. Are you? We talk about this all the time, building your team. Are you partnering with a lender and especially one who's going to do something like this for you? Are you using these partnerships? Are you partnering with people in each segment of the market to better yourself through building a team and referring people back and forth and using stuff like this? Wouldn't it be great, Malvis, if they looked on that monitor and the website that was up was yours, and everything they looked at said contact Malvis to see this house? I mean, that's the kind of thing that we should be doing, guys. So this is just a phenomenal opportunity. Andy, don't forget to make me host again.
Yeah, let me just stop. Let me stop sharing here, and then where do I go, Ryan, to make you the host?
You click on me. I should have 3 dots on my screen.
Okay, yeah, I see it right there. And where is it? Right here.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
You're good.
You got the con back.
Thank you. Feel much safer now. Do you offer some kind of down payment assistance programs?
Yeah, so, and you guys can maybe speak on it to your success with it. So right now, the challenging part with down payment assistance is, certain counties don't have those funds available. I know Orange County was out pretty quick this year. There is the Florida Bond program. There is another program that has down payment assistance, but with a lot of those things, the challenge is getting the paperwork and getting it all processed, and it's pretty much a 60-day process best case, and in this market trying to get an offer accepted in 60 days, it's probably not going to happen. The other thing is educating the buyer that it's with some of them it's a fee that they charge in the closing costs, so you might be getting $7,500, but it might cost you $1,500, so you got to look at the net there. And then in addition to that, you also, on a lot of them, there's certain years that you have to own the home to be forgiven and not have to pay it back. And there's certain ones that are, when you sell the home, like the bond program, when you sell or refi, that you have to pay it back. So, it could work, but in the grand scheme of things, with 60 days, with it, being a fee, with it having to pay it back, sometimes it's a bigger headache. Whereas if you could get a gift from a family member, that's a lot cleaner and faster option.
Yeah, what I would recommend for the folks on the call, if you got somebody that wants down payment assistance, get them in contact with us. A lot of times we can figure out a way to not have to go through that program, get a stronger offer with maybe a gift letter. But if it is down payment assistance, we're here to help them. We'll put them in the nurture program and let you know what we're doing. That way you're not spending time in market, best use of time and effort, right? You don't want to drive somebody around for 3 days and then realize that they're not going to have the money to buy today. So you can connect them with us. We can get our arms around that client. We can put them in the nurture program and then let you know, like, hey, Richard, this one's not ready now, so I probably wouldn't be driving around for 2 days, but we'll get them ready, and then we'll let you know when we're ready to rock and roll. We'll send them back to you. So I think that's what the resource that you have here is. We're open with our partnership is. If you've got questions before you put a lot of effort into something, or if you're trying to manage your day, get best use of time and effort, call us. That's what we're here for. And we'll just lay everything out for you on what's required and if we can do something right away or not.
Okay. Fantastic. Any other questions?
Hello, Ryan. I have a question. This is Oscar Rodriguez.
Oscar, I can barely, I don't know if anybody else can, but I can barely hear you.
No.
Good.
Okay. Well, the question is, in which program do you qualify, guys, that a person who the immigration status, for example, is an asylum process or an TPS process? The kind of person who has an employee authorization card, have W-2 for 1 year or maybe 2 years, or is self-employed, but is in this kind of situation.
Melissa, you want to take that one?
Yes. So I want to make sure I got the question correctly. They are work permit, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they just got it, I'm guessing, for 2 years or so. The good thing about having a work permit, where, let's say, for example, they just got here, they started working probably about 6 months or 8 months ago. As long as we can use their history to, let's say, a country from wherever they are, Santo Domingo, they used to work for a company, and we can do a verification of employment and complete the 2 gaps of year of employment for the 2 years, we can use them. Remember that for history, they want to at least have 2 years of employment. But if we can do the verification in their own country to complete the 2 years of employment history, we can use that as well. I'm hoping that I'm answering your question correctly. Let me know if I'm not, please.
No, it's okay. Okay, well, thanks.
Is that what you're looking for?
Well, this is happening that that I have a few clients that wants to buy. The thing
Okay.
is that the status, they recently arrived to US, and the migration status is applying for asylum, has been not granted yet, or person who only have a TPS and a temporary protection status. So,
By any chance, do you know if they have the TIN number?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't have.
Yeah, so they don't have it. No, with those people that don't even have anything at all, unfortunately, we can't touch. We're either going to need a work permit, even if the letter says, hey, you've been approved, you're just waiting for the card, we can use the letter. But if we don't have the letter, where they're just starting the process, they have to wait until one of those 2 actually come up first.
Okay. Okay, well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Eric and Ryan. I got a quick question that I put on the chat, but I'm gonna speak it loud.
A little bit louder if you can, Eric.
So it's like a scenario. So I have just 2 couples trying to buy a house. The husband makes minimum wage. He doesn't make enough, to qualify for a larger amount of house, like $400,000 a house. But the wife works as a nurse. She travels a lot, but she works a contract. So from contract to contract, she makes the money, but she doesn't have the steady job history of a year or 2 year. But she can prove the money that she made. So she made a bunch of money in one contract, but now she's just sitting at home, not making money, looking for additional contracts. So this is kind of a little bit weird scenario where, so I'm trying to get like help and the best way to advise them.
Is she 1099 or W-2 off that?
I think she's W-2.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it would really depend on how long the gaps are. And then it would, having the work history of at least 2 years, we're going to do an average. So, that's going to be the one thing is if we do a year to date for this year and she's not, she's been out for a long time, and her year to date would build up later in the year, then that average might hurt you. So it really just depends on the scenario of just looking at her W-2s, looking at just how she gets paid and averaging that income the correct way.
All right, thanks. I think that kind of answered the question.
It's worth taking a look at it, Eric. If you want to shoot it over to Jason, he can just get his eyes on it and give you a little bit more detailed.
All right, I'll do that. I'll probably send her to you guys and she can apply. It's a she, by the way.
Okay.
Sir. You guys have any more questions? Well, I want to thank you guys, all of you, Andy, Melissa, Michelle, appreciate you guys, Jason. Thank you so much for coming in, telling us what you guys have going on. You guys, you agents, you see that there's another way to help grow your business. This is a fantastic, whether you're a Spanish speaker or you're not. This is a way to better serve your clientele and really make something, have another niche that you do and add more to your business. And this is really, I just think it's great. What you guys have planned. That community center, I think is really a great idea. Whoever came up with that. So you guys, whoever's taking credit for that, good job.
Well, thanks for having us, Ryan. It's been awesome to be able to hang out with you guys and share our story. We appreciate it. We're excited for you and your growth. I know you said you had, I don't even remember how many agents now, but I think it's close to 1,000, and you guys are rocking and rolling. So we'd love to partner up, and anything we can do, don't hesitate to reach out for any questions or anything we can do for you personally.
You bet. Thank you guys so much. And we look forward to working with you guys. Our agents will be reaching out to you. And so we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right.
It was a pleasure meeting you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Agents, if you want to hang out, you can. We'll talk. This time we're not going to get shut off because Andy did a great job keeping me on. Anything you guys want to talk about? Let's go. What do you guys think of that, by the way?
I missed the beginning of it. So just can you do a quick little nutshell of what
The rest of us, while the one lady was talking, we were pretending you were talking because you were on mute, but we could see your mouth moving. So
No.
I was laughing because
I heard everything they were saying. It's just the very beginning. I wasn't here. I came in late.
I saw you talking to somebody, but you were on mute. But the other lady was talking, and
Yeah,
it looked like
it was the real owner of that fraudulent deal. From Nigeria. I had to take the call.
Well, great. So what did you guys? So anyway, Tammy, just to summarize, it's AmeriFirst, who we had on Jason and his wife a month ago or so, whatever. And this is and they told us about AmeriUno, which is their Spanish-speaking branch. But this wasn't just a helpful thing for people who speak Spanish. This was a helpful thing for everyone to help you guys work with people who speak Spanish as well, you non-Spanish speakers, and to help the people who do speak Spanish be more of a cemented thing. You guys are always asking about Spanish-speaking lenders.
Yeah.
And that's really even more so, well, equal to what we do with the contracts. It's very important they understand their financing in Spanish. If they need Spanish to understand it, it's very important that they have that. So, but the ability to do this, and their community center thing, I think, is genius. And
that's what I was wondering. Do you have to pay to be a member of their community center?
No, these lenders, they kiss your butts because they just want to work with you. They just want you sending people. Pat, I see, is on the call. Jason was bragging about Pat working with him and sending him people earlier. Pat Oxford Jason was telling me about that. He's got a couple other people that have done like the training thing. No, they want you guys to send them people. That's why these people kiss your butt. That's why these people call me to see if they could come in on our call. And I tell them, not if you're just gonna get on there and do a commercial, but if you have something of value to offer, then yes. So I try to bring on, I try to, like last week, Nishad told you, use Tycon and use me and stuff, but he brought something of value. And that's what we want for you guys. I don't want to waste your time. I want you guys, when you log on to this thing, I want you to get something of value. So that's what these people are. And grow your team, whether it be with these folks or any other lender or something. You guys, people refer business back and forth. And if you're good for a lender and you start sending them deals and you say, wow, you guys have worked with people before. Maybe you've referred people to your favorite restaurant or a house painter or whoever it is. And you're like, wow, that person really ought to be thanking me. Well, when you feel that way about a lender, you need to, because I've sent them 4 deals this month or whatever. When you feel that way about a lender, you need to reach out to them and say, hey, if you ever get a chance to kick something back to me, because these lenders do their own marketing. And people will say, ooh, hey, Jason, great to see you. Could you get me pre-qualified for a mortgage? And he'll say, yeah, what house are you looking at? He's like, oh, I don't have a realtor yet. That happens to them all the time, right? And they're out marketing. So you guys, especially you guys who've been doing good business, get out there with the people you keep spoon feeding business to and ask them, what can you do for me? Is there any way you could throw me a bone here and there? And, they probably have a bigger shot realtor. Maybe they don't, that they're giving stuff to, but they got to throw you a bone here and there too. Okay. If not, find one who will. Go to a brand new person and say, I'm sending people, 3 people a month, 2 people a month. What can you do for me if I start sending them to you? Leverage yourselves, guys. This is how you grow your business. right? When we work as a company, when we work with a house cleaner or whomever, hey, we have 1,500 units that we manage. Think you could cut us a deal? What do you think they say? Right? So it's not a onesie twosie thing. And so you guys, if you're giving people business, make sure they're cutting you back something. These are relationships, guys. All right. So did you guys get anything? Those of you who did pay attention, not Tammy, everybody else, did anybody else get anything out of it?
Yeah, this is Eric. I think it was pretty good. It's always good to have a lender to work with. I mean, you always try to find the best deal. So having them right there, the phone numbers and emails, so I'll definitely reach out to them. I think it was very good.
Yeah, guys, have a couple of lenders, because you're going to be sitting with somebody at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, ready to go look at houses, and you're going to say, show me that pre-approval you told me about. And they're either they're going to show you a napkin from McDonald's, or they're going to show you one that's 8 months old or something like that sometimes. So make sure you've got a couple of phone numbers, because if you call Jason and Jason is on the golf course, and you call Samantha and she's at her kid's soccer game, you need one more, right? So you got to get somebody pre-qualified quickly. Just call around and do that. They don't have to work with that exact person. Of course, you don't want to waste somebody's Saturday morning on something that's not going to pan out for them. But they will. You need to get where you get somebody on the phone and get somebody pre-qualified in 5 or 10 minutes. Okay. So
Well,
have a team.
yeah.
And go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, one more question for you. I just got appreciate you sending me the info yesterday. I just got my MLS and everything. I'm rock and roll, start getting busy. So I was looking on the website, our website. I don't see any resources where, all the things like lenders and partners and things like that, or what's available for me. I don't see on our website. It's kind of basic. And where do I go to get that stuff?
Did you go on Paperless Pipeline? You might need to get reintroduced to Paperless Pipeline. We have a reference tab. We have a vendor list under the reference tab on Paperless Pipeline.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Paperless. So when I start going to MLS, and is it going to be tied into the MLS?
Paperless Pipeline is our system. Abby, will you send Eric Eric? Have you been on Paperless Pipeline, Eric?
Wow.
You have?
Yeah, I have, but it's been a while. I can try it. I think I may have your old email. I may.
Okay, well, make sure you can get in. If not, let me know, or let Abby know, and she will send you. I think Abby just checked out. Abby doesn't want to do it, but but I will. Okay, let me know, and I will. Oh, there she is. She just lost her video, and I will send you a welcome email.
Okay, appreciate it. I think
to reset your thing, but let me know if you can get in. Just then don't send me an email. But if you can't, then yeah.
All right, cool. Copy that. Appreciate it.
You bet. So just so you know, on there under the reference tab, Paperless Pipeline, under the reference tab, there's a bunch of tabs up top about transactions and all kinds of stuff. It's called reference, and you scroll down all the way to the bottom, and you'll see our forms, and you will see that they are that we have vendor lists for Orlando, vendor lists for Tampa, and all the surrounding areas. So those are people to work with. But again, attorneys also, like we talked to Nishad last week, if you guys are sending people a bunch of business, sending their title company a bunch of business, say, hey, how about you guys shoot me next time you have a client who needs something, next time you have a divorce or something like that, shoot me a client. All right. Any other questions, comments?
I have a question, Ryan.
Yes, Mel.
Either for you or my fellow agents here. Have you guys seen any trends on lenders requesting 4-point inspections and or wind mitigations for homes that are, over 15 years old to get insurance quotations and such? Have you lately? Because I have someone going under contract, and the lender reached out to me asking me for those inspections. And I've never been asked that before. So have you? Anybody on the?
I can tell you that I've seen a bunch of stuff with these roofs. A lot of all of this scamming that people did for new roofs after all these other little storms and stuff is come home to roost, and these insurance companies don't want to insure. They want to overcharge. Well, we call it overcharge. They're charging what they feel like they need to before they'll insure something. So lenders want to make sure that they can do that. So because lenders have to approve you, and if they've been approving people for $1,000 a year for insurance, and now it's going to be $3,000 a year, that affects your payment. It affects everything. Sometimes it can affect whether or not you get you can get qualified. So yes, they want to see all that stuff. Then they're charging you, you know, an arm and a leg. The insurance companies are for getting it done, or they're telling you that you got to get your roof done. You will approve you, will exclude the roof, and you've got to get it done within 45 days or whatever, and then we'll cover the roof after that. The insurance companies are doing that. So yeah, and lenders don't like exclusions, even if it's just for 45 days.
What age home was it?
Say that again, Tammy.
How old, what age was the home? Like, when was it built?
The home is 1993 and the roof was changed 3 years ago. So I'm not really sure.
Probably looking at plumbing, electrical, the 4-point inspection. Sometimes the insurance companies will, you know, request that. But normally the inspector, like my inspector, will get all the information, and then if it's needed, they'll produce the report.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, mine too. He did the same thing. They did the inspection yesterday, and he included the wind mitigation and the 4-point. He just doesn't charge it to the client until they actually say, I need it.
Right.
I think it has to do too when there are no permits with the county or the city of the roof and the air conditioning, then they'll require the 4-point.
And just for clarification, the 4-point inspections and the wind mitigation is so that they can tell these insurance companies, hey, this roof is going to last 10 more years, or this AC may last 5 more years and such. Is that correct?
Yeah, your insurance company will want to see it. That's what that's
The
what
purpose
they
of
want.
them being able to say it's going to last X amount of time?
Correct.
Okay.
It's in this good or bad of a shape, and it's going to last this much longer. Got this many years left on it, roughly.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Yes, well, just a comment. I just saw on Facebook, somebody posted that Renner is only offering 1% commission, and other people are doing like $2,000. I mean, that's terrible.
It is terrible. Angie's on here, but I don't know if she's paying attention right now. She's on mute. She took her camera off, but she's the one who posted that she's getting 1% at Renner.
I'm always listening.
There she goes. Well, tell us about it, Angie.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm gonna take my so yeah, I was super disappointed. I've been talking to Renner for, working with them for years. I haven't asked about the commission breakdown this calendar year, just because last calendar year, everything was fine. And it is very disappointing, and I wish there was something we could do about it. There is. I'm all on board to do something about it, banding together. But I basically been thinking about it, and ultimately we just need to focus on those builders that are willing to pay us what we want. DR Horton around Tampa is still paying 3%. I just checked with Jones Homes, who's building in Eagle Creek, and their rep assured me they're staying at 3% as well. So I planned on today starting a new Facebook post about all those builders that we do want to work with, and everybody can share kind of where they're coming from. Also, if everybody doesn't get the builders update emails from the MLS service that is included in our MLS, they send out emails. I don't know if it's every week, every month or something, but they have on there any special incentives. There's often, like near Disney, those resort homes are often paying, higher commissions. So I know we all get a ton of emails. Email is actually really good and says the commission structures that they're paying. And those are the ones that I told my assistant to start sharing on Facebook and start spreading the word about those guys and just focus.
You got me so excited, Angie. I think this is great. So if you'll start a post on our FRI page that says, list your experiences with builders, and we're not experiences. I don't want stories.
No.
List what people are paying in what communities and stuff like that. just so we don't have a lot of, and if you know their rules, got to show up with them the first time, got to register on their website, every community that you go to, not just once. If we can do that, if we can get a reasonably good and accurate list of this, we might be able to save you guys some money. And some heartache and me some phone calls and of you guys crying, because that's what happens. And I always tell you guys, I love you guys, and I hope all of your mistakes are inexpensive ones, but some of them are very expensive. So be sure that you're doing this. And then the vindictive side of me wants to keep that up there forever for when this market turns around and they come bringing us cookies again to tell them to go fly a kite. Right?
I agree. So let's add to our shit list.
Aren't you the ones who tried to hurt me with 1%? Yes, that's what happens. Goodbye. We will survive. And they're going to try to survive with their begging me. I remember when I started in 2015 at FRI, they would come in for the next 2 years. They were coming in with cookies. Can I please talk to your agents? Can I please? Now they act like they don't ever want to see you again. And it's not these poor reps who were walking around with brownies. It's the corporate people saying we can save $20,000 a deal, $15,000 a deal by cutting these realtors out.
Yeah. If anybody has a corporate contact for Lennar and email address, that'd be great, because I've been searching all over and having a really hard time finding one. Found an online sales manager, but that's not what I need. And I have the supervisor to the sales agent, but I really want someone higher up too. So I plan on sending them an email, letting them know, my disappointment, and that I have, 2 new buyer showings this week, and I'm not taking them to Lennar Homes. If my buyers really want it, well, I'm always going to do what's in the best interest of my buyers, but one of them are my family, my mom. She's going to buy wherever I tell her. Our opinion means a lot to these buyers, and we want to work with people who we see are doing the right thing. And Lennar is still charging this contractors the other day. Lennar is still charging their builder fee of 1%, which they don't disclose until somebody's signing a contract or unless somebody asks. They're still charging all their other fees. They're raising the prices up. And, I get it that things are crazy right now, but that's not where they should be cutting their costs, and they're making a big mistake.
Well, and it costs them volume also, because a lot of people, you talk about your mom. A lot of people, when they take their family members or whomever to a new build, they get included because they're giving them back half the commission or something. And so now people can't do that. And so these buyers, they want cash back, and they can't get it. Yeah. So, you can't give it much out of 1%. You certainly can't give them as much. So, if you'll start that, Angie, that's very exciting. I would appreciate that. And if everybody will add to it their real life, very, very brief experiences, just facts, please, about, Lennar is offering 1% here and DR Horton's offering 2% there and whatever. There you go. I'd like to try to limit, Ryan Holmes sucks anyway, that kind of stuff. I don't, nothing personal, Danielle and the model is so-and-so, not that kind of stuff. So let's do that. Thank you very much, Angie. And thank you for the question.
I have something else, Ryan.
Yes, Mel.
And I don't know if anybody else have experienced this, but I was on the MLS this whole week looking at a new build for my new customer. And I've noticed a lot of the builders on the MLS, the information is outdated. I called DR Horton yesterday. They have a motorhome listed on the MLS for $293 and such in the Daytona area. I called the rep and she said, well, the MLS is incorrect. That information, I called 2 other builders last week and they both told me the same thing. Builders update is not actually up to date. Don't go with what they have posted on the MLS. So how are we supposed to know what is the most accurate information? Because I can be sending these homes to my buyers saying, okay, in this community, their building is starting from this price to this price, for them or for me to go over, take them over and find out that the prices that they are advertising are 40 grand over that price. Is that an MLS thing that they need to get a grip of, builders update? Is that, I don't know how to go about that. I don't want to provide wrong information for my buyer. Don't I run it, I don't want to drive an hour, 2 hours, or have to call. I talked to 4 different builders between last week and this week. I talked to DR Horton. I talked to Ryan Homes. I don't think I talked to Lennar, but I talked to 2 more. And they all pretty much, at least 3 of them had the same thing to say. Builders Update doesn't have accurate information.
What do you guys think about that?
I think that recently, because I've been working with quite a few new quite a few buyers lately that want to buy a new build here in Tampa and over in Orlando too. And things are changing so fast for a lot of them. I've really been finding that you just have to call each individual builder, each community, and really talk to them. And it's a pain. I wish there was a better resource for it, but that's what I'm having to do. One of my buyers, she was interested in so many different communities from Orlando to Tampa, down south, I mean, just everywhere. Eventually, I just told her, just give them a call and ask them the rates. Tell them your agent will be with you on that first visit. You're not giving them any information. Just ask them how much this house is in this community. And so that's what she did. She ended up calling them all herself because it was quite extensive. And that's what we were finding out. And the most of them don't even have anything right now. So what the price is right now is what they sold last time or what they're thinking it'll be, but the prices are going up. So with this inventory shortage, it's almost impossible for you to find the right information online. You really have to call them up and figure out what's going on. And then honestly, when you get there, it could still be the same issue where it's wrong.
Yes.
You know, that could still be the same issue. And I think that's just a chance we take. But that's just kind of where we're at right now. Same thing, if you go schedule a showing for 5 p.m. in the afternoon, that house could be gone. You know, it's just kind of what we're dealing with right now in these times. But I mean, I'm sure everyone will tell you that what's online should be what it is. But with builders, there's so much gray area because they're saying this house is starting at this, or, you know, this house price. I've already gone to war with Lennar before over something else, and it's that they advertised a house on the MLS and they advertised the exact address. The house was already started. So Lennar says that they cannot change anything to a home once it's started. That's their rule for this community. They would not make any changes. You can't change the counters. You can't change the paint. You can't change anything. So when they advertise that price on the MLS, to me, that those two things together meant the exact price. And when my client went there to buy it and we started the contract, they tried to say it was more. I emailed everybody at Lennar, I emailed a whole bunch of people, and they changed the price to what was on the MLS. So, you know, sometimes you got to go fight for it and you win, and other times there's just no winning. So I think it's just a matter of doing the extra work, maybe getting your clients, you know, if it's somebody you feel like you have a really strong relationship with and they're not going to, you know, leave you, you really explain your position that you need to be with them when they go to visit, then for sure you have to, you can get them doing some of that work too themselves, but it's really, I guess, just our job.
I do agree with Malvis. Like, we have to follow the MLS guidelines. Why builders don't?
Right.
And then if they're not gonna do it, then don't post it on the MLS.
Nobody's gonna do anything unless you guys complain. I don't know if you guys know this, but when the MLS comes after you for your little mistakes, well, unless they're the obvious ones, but some of the ones like potential listing error or something like that, it's because it's come to our attention that your square footage might be off by 40 feet. That's not them going out and checking square foot. That's somebody tattling on you. So tattle on these builders, and if you want to get them straightened out. But what they're doing is a bait and switch a lot of times. They're doing a bait and switch. So that's what they're doing, getting you out.
Yeah, and that's what my email accused them of. And, you know, they came through and they changed the purchase price for me because that's exactly what it was: deceptive practices and a bait and switch, and just not fair to the end consumer. And that's who everybody's working for here. And, you know, that's who it needs to be fair for. It might not always be fair for us, but it needs to be fair for them.
Yeah, the home that I was questioning about, it was listed on the MLS, 293.9, and when I called D.R. Horton and talked to the sales rep there, she said, no, that's 320 this week. I'm like, how could that be? That's a big difference in price of what you guys are advertising on the MLS, and you're still showing this active. And then towards the end of the conversation, then she kind of changed and say, no, that's going under contract today. So I didn't believe everything she said, honestly.
So who do we report this to when we see these practices? Because it's false advertisement completely.
Who do you report them to? The MLS. I mean, that's the only, I mean, you're not going to turn them into the judicial system. I mean, it's just the MLS, get them reported for putting it on their deceptive listing, just like they would you if you put on their, you know, free house, and then they come out there and you say, no, it's 500 grand. You know, you can't do that. So that's what you got to turn them in for. And they can, you know, at least make them prove that house went under contract that day, because you know it didn't, but they can prove that.
Yeah, and sometimes these builders use other listing agents and other brokerages to list them. So I would definitely reach out to them and let them know what's going on too, because ultimately it's them that's putting it on there, and it's them that's liable for the information that they're putting on there. So that was the case with this Lennar home last year that was advertised at a lower price, and they ended up blaming the broker and the agent who listed it, which is bull. But that's who's ultimately responsible for what's on the MLS. So reporting it to that agent when it's a new build, if it's not the builder, because sometimes like DR Horton has their own listing services that they do.
Mm-hmm. All right, does that help, Melvis?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Angie.
All right, well, I'm excited about getting that list. I'll try to, Abby, is there a way to pin something at the top of our FRI page?
Yeah, on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, you can pin something. You're breaking up, maybe I am. All right, so we'll get that figured out. Any other, we'll try to pin it to the top of our page, so we kind of keep it up, keep it going and keep it up top. Any other questions or comments? Anyone? All right, guys. Well, thank you all very much for coming. Very excited. Letitia says your clients could save $6,000 on closing costs this month. Rich American Homes is advertising. All right. If you guys work with Rich American, do you have any good ideas about them? Good things? Nobody's worked with them? Fantastic. They probably just take it out of your commission. But all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for all coming, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.